Hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. How you all doing? Hope you're doing great. So today we're going to be making a 4-piece dress, a long dress with a coat shoulder, and we're going to be adding the flounce to the side of the dress. So let's get started. We're going to be using 4 yards of velvet fabric for this tutorial. For the upper parts, I'll be using this pattern draft, the pattern I drafted in one of my videos to cut out the upper parts. I'm going to link it in the description box below. For the upper part, you just spread your fabric on the table and lay your pattern against your fabric and use it to trace it out. This is a full length pattern, so I'm going to be cutting half length. The half length I'm using is 18 inches, and I'll be adding a 2 inches waistband to it. So instead of me cutting out 18 inches, I'll be cutting out 16 inches. So from here, I will measure out 16 inches. That will be my half length. Lay this against my fabric and use it and cut it out. So this is the upper part. So I've already cut it out with the pattern paper. So I will set this aside and cut the down part, the 4 pieces. Before we start, I will show you the style I'm making anyway. So this is what we are making today. And I'll fold my fabric into 2. I folded this into 2. I'm cutting out the front panel, the 2 front panel. So that is why I folded into 2. So before we start, I'm going to mark out 9 inches on this side, on the folded edge. I'm marking out 9 inches right from the top to the bottom. So I'll draw a line here. So we'll be using this 9 inches later on. So we'll go ahead and place the measurement. This is the waist measurement. I left ½ inch here. That is for the joining the upper to the down part. So from waist to hip is 8 inches. I mark my 8 inches here. From waist to knee is 19 inches. So the full length is 62 inches. So you minus 16 inches for the upper part, will be left with 46 inches. Then 46 inches will be for the down part, the length. Then I'll be adding 1 inch for sewing allowance. That is 47 inches. And then we're going to place the circumference measurement. Because it's a 4-piece skirt, we'll be divide the waist and the hip by 4. The waist measurement is 36 inches. Divided by 4 is 9 inches. And I will add 1 inch for sewing allowance. That is 10 inches. I will mark my 10 inches here. That is the waistline. The hip measurement is 46 inches divided by 4, which is 11.5 inches. Then I will be adding 1 inch for sewing allowance. That is 12.5 inches. Then I will mark 12.5 inches here. I'll connect it from the waist to the hip. So the hip is 12.5 inches. To get the knee, we minus 1.5 inches from the hip measurement. So 12.5 inches minus 1.5 inches. So we'll have is 11 inches. So I'll mark 11 inches for the knee measurement. We are placing the measurement right from this line I marked. This 9 inches, I'm going to be using it for the down part later on. So I'm starting the line, I'm starting the measurements right from this line. This is the 9 inches I marked out. The measurement is starting from here. The waist measurement, the hip measurement, and the knee measurement. So I'll connect it from the hip to the knee. I will connect this to the down part. So I'm making the down part here 20 inches, depending on the fabric you have. So I'll mark 20 inches here. And I will connect it right from the knee measurement. Connect it to meet that 20 inches. This is where we'll be needing the 9 inches I marked out earlier. So this 9 inches, we also connect this place to meet the ends here. I added 20 inches to the other side and added 9 inches to this side. So I'll go to the upper part again. I folded into this is for the front one, the 2 front panel. So I'll be adding maybe 1 inch here on this side also for joining it. So I will go ahead and cut it out. So I finished cutting the front part. When you open it up, it should look something like this. This is where we're going to be joining it. On this side. To cut out the back side, I will lay the fabric on the table and lay this against it. So for the back side, I will lay my fabric on the table, take the front panel, lay it against the back part. So I will still trace it out. So I'm going to be adding about 5 inches stay to the back side. I'm adding 5 to 6 inches for the back tail. So I will take it like so. And I will trace this one. Take it like so to meet the 6 inches tail. I will cut the back panel out. So this is the front one and this is the back one with the tail. If you don't want to add tail to it, lay this against the back one and cut it equal. So next is for us to join the whole fabric together. So this is the 2 back panel. So I didn't cut this one like a princess dart. This is just normal. Cut it into 2. This is where the zip will go through. I've done a series of video on this. So this is the front panel. I will turn it like so. I will sew it here. So I will join them together, join this side to this side, start sewing it right from the bottom, then I will sew the other side. I'm not adding lining to it. I will sew this side also. For the back side, I will only add that to the back side. So I will measure 5.5 inches and measure 5.5 inches because of 1 inch zipper allowance. I will take the post measurement, that is 11 inches. So I'll do the same thing to the other side and then sew the front panel. I finished joining them together. I cut out waistband 3 inches, but I will be using 1 inch for sewing allowance, ½ inch on this side and ½ inch on the other side. So for the back one, I've already sewed the dart. I will take it and turn it to this side. And I will take one of the damp parts. Then after I attach it, then I will still attach it to this side. So I will sew here and sew this side, attach the band to the waistline. So for the front part, I'll bring the 2 front pieces together. I will sew this together. I will sew the 2 front panel together. And the back side, I will sew the band to the waistline. I finish attaching the waistband to the dress. This is the back side. So this is the waistband here. This is the upper side and this is the damp part. So what we're going to do next is to attach our zip to the back panel. So I will turn this. So I will take 1 inch on this side for the zipper allowance, take 1 inch on the other side, sew it here, then there, sew the remaining part. I've also attached the waistband to the front panel. This is the front side. So this is the Flounce I cut out. I just posted a video about a few days ago on how to cut and sew a Flounce. So you watch the video before watching this. I will link it in the description box below. So this is the one I cut out. So some of you asked me to do a video on how to attach a Flounce to a dress. So, oh, excuse me. Sorry for that distraction. So we're going to be attaching this here. For me, I'm not attaching everything to it. If you look at the picture here, we have one step here and second step. The longer one is the first one and there's a short one here. So I'm going to be cutting this into 2. But before I cut it into 2, I will show you guys how you can attach it like that without cutting it. So I will start from here. And this is where I'm going to be attaching it. It depends on where you are attaching your Flounce. For me, I'll attach it here. You come to the waistline. So this is the Flounce. You place it like so. Let me use pins to hold it down. This is the first step. And it also depends on how wide you want the steps to be. So after pinning it here, then you take it, you turn it again. So you can see I've pinned the first one. Then you turn it. This is the second one. That's if you want to attach it. This is if you want to attach it to the waistline, or even if you're attaching it anywhere. Then you turn it again. This is the third step now. Then this is the last step. That's the fourth step. Then you attach it here. You pin them together. After pinning them together, you take it to your machine and sew them together here before you can attach anything you want to attach on it. Or you can just bring this one in there, sew them together. Let's say for instance I'm attaching it there. Actually, I'm actually attaching it there, but I just want to attach only 2 there. Then after doing that, you just see the way I pin them together. You will sew it like so. They have different ways of attaching it. Let's say you're making step by step flounce. You first place this here. You will go down below. You go maybe a few inches below the waistline. You put this first one here. That is the first step. Step by step, you sew here. The place you pin down, the first step, you sew it here. Then the second one, you go a few inches above the first one. Then you sew here also, you pin it. Then pin them down. You pin it. Then you take it, you sew here again. Then you take it again. You go a few inches also above the second one. You pin it here and make a stitch here also. Then you take it again a few inches above the last one. You pin it and sew it here. If you want to go a little bit forward, you can just place it. It depends on where you want your flounce to be. You will sew it here, step by step. After sewing it here, then you turn it. You come back and sew this place. That's the second step. You close it like so and sew the third step here. And this is the fourth step. Then you sew it. Just before you sew it, you use your pin to hold everything down to keep it in place. If you want to use anything to cover it, patches or anything, you can just cut it and use it to cover this place. So that's it. So for this one we are making, I'm going to be cutting it into 2. So I'm cutting it. I will cut this place and cut the other side. I'll sew it anyway. I'll place the first one here. And place this one here. So I'll hold it with my pin. So what I will do is to take this one, the upper part, and place it like so. To make sure the right side are facing each other, I'll pin them together at the waistline here. Then I will take it to my machine and sew everything together. The flounce, the upper part and the down part together. So I've finished attaching the zip to the back panel. And I've also attached the flounce to the front part. I'm only attaching 2 steps. This is the first one and this is the second one. So we'll go ahead and sew the both sides together. I will make sure the front panel and the back one are facing each other. And I will pin both sides together. I will take my exact bust measurement, waist measurements, and the hip measurements. So I will sew the shoulders and sew the both sides together. So guys, I finished sewing the shoulders and the both sides together. This is the thumb. So we're going to be cutting out the sleeve. I'm making a cold shoulder sleeve. I'm making it a 1/4 sleeve. I'm making 19 inches. And here I'll take my 10 inches. I'll come down by 4 inches. That's 10 inches. So I'll take it. I have a video on how to make a sleeve in my channel. You can check it out if you think you don't understand what I'm doing. So from here I'll take it down to the length. Cutting it out. So I'm cutting out 2 of that. So I'll place it here. I want to know how many I'm cutting out. I'm not cutting out much anyway. So I will cut right from the sleeve cap here. I will measure 4 inches. So I'll be cutting out these 4 inches. I will hem the top here. That is the sleeve cap here. I will hem the top here, then I'll sew the side together before we attach it to the dress. I finished sewing the sleeve, so I'm gonna attach the sleeve to the dress now. I'm matching the side seam together. I make sure the right side of the dress and the right side of the sleeve are facing each other. Take it to the side. And I will take this side also. So I will go ahead and sew it. So after I've done that, I will hem the remaining part of the armhole. As here, I will take it inside and hem it round. So guys, we are done with the whole dress. I finished attaching the sleeve to the armhole. This is the down part of the dress. I went ahead and hemmed the bottom of the dress also. Down part, so this is the back side. So this is the little chain I added to the back. So guys, we've come to the end of today's tutorial. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, like and share my video. I will see you guys on my next one. I love you. Bye.